Let me bring in Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland. He is a member of the Foreign Relations Committee. And Senator, you wrote a letter to President Bukele today requesting a meeting. And in that letter, you also underscored and noted that if you could not get that meeting, you would be traveling to El Salvador on Wednesday. You write in the letter, I've met with Mr. Abrego Garcia's wife, mother, and brother. And as you can imagine, they are extremely worried about his health, safety, and continued illegal confinement, as am I. I have to ask you, sir, I know you have seen the exchanges in the Oval Office today, just like the rest of us. What is your response here to the President of the United States, his aides, as well as the President of El Salvador, all noting that they will not facilitate, they won't return, they can't bring Abrego Garcia home?
Well, Simone, that was an outrageous scene in the White House, and there's a whole lot of lying going on, from the president to all the president's staff. And, of course, President Bukele does have the power to release Abrego Garcia. All he has to do is let him out of jail. Now, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, said that we, the United States, would actually send a plane down there to bring him back if he were let out. So, on the one hand, you know, Donald Trump is clearly ignoring a court order, not just from a federal district court judge, but from the Supreme Court of the United States. This individual, as you indicated, has never been convicted of any crime. He was here illegally. He is the father of 3 kids right now, and he needs to come home. And that is why I do intend to visit El Salvador this week to try to visit him, to let him know that we're working to bring him home.
Senator Van Hollen, did you get any response from the El Salvadorian government or President Bukele's office to your letter? And can you just take us, how are your plans to get into this prison? Because the way the United States is making it, the United States government is making it seem it's impossible to get in there. It's impossible to do anything without the permission of the El Salvadorian government, even though, as Vaughn just noted, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem was just there not a few weeks ago.
Well, that's exactly right. And that puts a lie to the whole back and forth here, where the White House is pretending they can't get him back, and the president of El Salvador is pretending he can't let him go. Look, we've not gotten a response yet from the Embassy of El Salvador to my request to meet with President Bukele while he was here. I believe he's left since now. So I've been in touch with the State Department and our embassy, and I do plan to go down, and I hope to be able to meet with the president of El Salvador or others in the government to press this case. Remember, and you just reported this, the Trump administration is paying the government of El Salvador to take these individuals. Ultimately, those funds need to be appropriated through the United States Congress. And I can tell you very clearly, I will not support 1 penny to El Salvador unless they help us return this man who has been illegally deported, disappeared out of the United States, and denied his due process rights. According to a 9-0 opinion of the Supreme Court, you don't get that many of those.
You do not get many of those. And I am struck by the fact, and I said it in the open, it seems to me that the administration officials in the Oval Office today misrepresented, flat out lied about what the Supreme Court said. You have the Bulwark. They have a headline today. Trump just defied the Supreme Court. What is John Roberts going to do about it? I have to ask you, sir, what are members of the United States Senate going to do about it? I often have to question, am I being dramatic? Is this hyperbole? But I heard Andrew Weissman, who is the least dramatic person I have ever met, just an hour ago on our network say he believes that we are now in a constitutional crisis. What say you?
Oh, I believe we are. And it's gotten much worse even the last 24 hours because of this outright defiance of the Supreme Court, the outright defiance of a district court judge. And there will be hearing on this case tomorrow, but she was backed up by 9-0 from the Supreme Court. So 2 things have to happen. Number one, the courts do need to hold the Trump Justice Department in contempt, and the courts have the power to issue sanctions. As to my Republican colleagues in the United States Senate, to date, they have been absolutely AWOL when it comes to upholding their constitutional duties. They've torn up Article 1 of the Constitution. Can we all hope that this moment of outright defiance will change that? We can hope that, but Simone, I'll believe it when I see it. In the meantime, all the rest of us need to fight to protect our country, protect the rule of law. And in this case, coming down to one person who is illegally in the United States and disappeared by the Trump administration to a notorious prison in El Salvador. He deserves justice, and he needs to come home.
I will note the district court judge in the case ordered the government to provide daily updates. Tonight, the government's update was DHS does not have authority to forcibly extract an alien from the domestic custody of a foreign sovereign nation. They're being quite clear, Senator Van Hollen, about what they think. Thank you very much for your time. We will look for an update from you.